So we'll switch topics. Shows. You've done the national since you've started.
Yeah.
What's on the agenda for this year?
So obviously
other
national.
than the national.
Yeah. So
other than national.
Yeah,
in a couple
yeah,
months.
yeah. So we took a little bit of a break. I had shoulder surgery. I'm not wearing my sling, but it's okay. I'm sitting. So we took a little bit of a break because our first big show was Collecticon Orlando, which we did really well at. It's a big smorgasbord of collectibles, but really it's TCG, sports cards, Funko, autographs, guests, things like that. And we did that, and then we kind of did some local stuff here and had the surgery. So the plan right now is in 2 weeks, we are going to go to the Dallas Collecticon, which is a pretty big deal. Chuck Norris is going to be there. To go see, got to get a picture or an autograph with Chuck Norris, right? So he's going to be there, but it's a big, big show. Then there is some opportunity in June. It's our 5-year anniversary in June. So we're probably going to make that month about the shop. We're going to try and do some really cool autograph signings, bring people in. We're going to do some fun stuff for just the local community. And then there are some shows I may go to in there. I think in the Midwest Monsters in that time, right?
Yeah, 1st of June.
Yeah, it's the first. I may fly up there. I'm not going to probably do it, but I may fly up there and go see people and hang out with, all the shop owners and folks like yourself. And then July is the National, and then it gets crazy. So you think the National's crazy. So then in August in California, there's a Burbank show, and there's a Collecticon Long Beach. Both of those shows I anticipate to be some of our best shows outside of the National for the year.
Burbank, they've been broadcasting that one since last year since they did the last one.
Yeah.
He moved.
Well, each time it's moved.
This time it's moved to an even bigger than the second one.
It's in Anaheim.
Yeah.
But I think where it's at in August or September, it's in September, first week of September. I think it's in the same location that the Anaheim National was at years ago. So it's in a huge location. Shout out to Rob and Ryan and EJ and those guys that have done a good job putting it together.
I remember when he signed the paperwork for it like 4 months ago. He's like, "It's official. It's," and I was like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah.
Like their third one, and each time it's just gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger and bigger.
And for our shop, this is kind of interesting. People don't think about it, but East Coast, West Coast. No Tupac, Biggie beef here, but from a online standpoint, California is our second biggest customer base outside of Florida, and we actually have tons of customers out there. People who break with us, people who got to know us. We've got to meet some of the coolest people in California and on the West Coast. So we're looking forward to kind of making that week out there. So we'll do the Collecticon in Long Beach. And then we'll do the next week at Burbank in Anaheim. So it'll be like a TCG, Pokemon, this kind of world, and then it will also be a sports show that we'll do as well, all in 1 week. So Mary and I are gonna try and vacation in between. We'll try and figure something out. But that's our big. Yeah, you know how it is. So that's that, and then we have some more Collecticons and other events coming up in the fall. But yeah, man, it's the show circuit. We've kind of tapered back a little bit and focused on really like big shows across the nation that we can really like be very focused on, and then we go to the local shows as we can in town and stuff and around Florida. There's not a lot of big shows in Florida, and so that's kind of what the plan is.
You mentioned Dallas. Back in January, you posted on your Instagram about, it was a bet that you lost. Yeah, sorry, you lost the bet.
I lost some money on it.
You bet. So how did this bet come about of the chucking the graded card from one end of the Dallas show room to the other? What's this about?
So Zach is Meredith's brother, and he worked with us. He was huge help here for about 7-8 months, and it was kind of near the end of his term with us because he was moving up to Greenville, South Carolina. And we were at the show, and he said to me, well, he plays Frisbee, first off. And so he's kind of talking about Frisbee as a sport. And I'm not knocking Frisbee, but I was kind of knocking Frisbee. So we're talking trash about Frisbee. And he had like a PSA slab in his hand. He's like, what are you talking? He's like, I could throw. He's like, Frisbee's taught me so much of this. I could throw this across the floor here. And I was like, no, you can't. Like, this is a PSA slab, and if you see the video, it's a long way. And I was like,
yeah, it's like 100. It's like 100 over 100 foot.
Oh, it's definitely over 100 feet. It's probably like 50 to 60 yards, probably. Yeah. And so he says to me, I could throw it from across. And I was like, there's no way you can do that. And he's like, there's definitely. And so there's a guy named Kong who was helping us out. Shout out to Kong. He and I are both looking at him like, there's no way. You're crazy. There's no way you're throwing a PSA slab that far.
60 yards.
Yeah, and I said, I'm only giving you one try. And I said, I'll give you $100 if you could do this. And so he's like, deal. So I think his bet side might have been half it because I was really like, there's no way. So he gets all ready and he throws it kind of like a frisbee, and that thing could have gone the length of a football field. The way he threw it, it hit the top of at the end, like the distance it had on it. So I'll get you the video so you can post it. But I had to eat my words, and he was so stoked throwing it.
Oh yeah, he was stoked.
What else was it? There's a Kristaps Porzingis push. A lot of people know I'm not a big fan of him. And the reason why is I had a logo man back in the day, lost a lot of money on it, and so I always knocked Kristaps Porzingis. So we found a Porzingis slab, and because or something. And then, actually, shout out to the slab. It only had a little crack in the corner.
Yeah, it cracked the corner.
Yeah, that's all it was. But it made the flight, baby. So that's the story. Yeah, that's the story of the Zach chucking the slab.
So you guys run the shop during the day.
Yeah.
And as everyone sees behind, we've got the infamous break wall that will be live. That's live 3, 4, 5 nights a week.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and then we do whatnot. Typically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then a show on Sunday, sometimes Saturday. Then we run case breaks and things like that through those break nights on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, and then sometimes on whatnot. And on top of that, the camera is sitting on the Meelypops Madness table, which in mid-May, I don't know if I told you this, but we're at number 75. So we do these special sessions, we call them, where we do these crazy sales. So we are 75th sale, and I got a little surprise coming for that because it's 75th, so we got to do something cool.
So middle of May.
Yeah.
Madness is back.
75, yeah. It's going to be crazy.
Just don't throw your shoulder out
slinging
deals.
I know, man. I'm tearing labrums because I'm giving so many deals out.
Yeah, you're flinging deals.
Now I have to deal with the left, so... But this is part of what we break from here. We love to break. I think one cool thing about what we do, Messi, is our shop, we're trying to be the local card shop for people online. And honestly, there's really not many. We price our breaks and our stuff really fairly. We're always fair with people. We're not trying to crush people. And I see out there I'm not naming names, but some of the bigger breakers, the pricing is a little crazy. So
they're charging. So I've seen some of them too, and they're 50, 60.
Yeah, and so I think that's the key is we want to make sure people know we're not going to knock you in the head. There's some stuff that we can't bring down a lot of times because the price point is so high, but we just want to have product that people have. So the newest stuff this week is WD Undercard, SB Authentic Hockey, Revolution Basketball, Vivid Leaf, Shang-Chi came out. We have other stuff as well that's still in the shop. There's the new Disney stuff that we had. So we break everything too. That's the cool thing is you might see people who are just breaking this or just breaking that, or we're a shop, so you can break whatever you want with us, and that's the cool thing. I think a lot more shops. Shout out to Ryan at RBI Crew. I know they do the same thing. They let people break whatever they want. I know Andy brought up Andy at Indie Card Exchange and Jake and those guys. They do a good job.
They do weekly breaks of the new stuff.
Yeah. So
like Wednesdays and Fridays.
And if you don't have a local card shop, what I would say is supporting a local card shop through breaks or online is super helpful. So don't go out there looking for corporate breakers or all the hype. I mean, just support the local card shops because a lot of card shops now have to have a breaking outlet. So
you gotta have that. As we was talking beforehand out with everything changing, you've got to be multidimensional in this industry nowadays.
Yeah.
Not just having a shop and all that, but you got to have that online presence because that's how you get the fan base when you go to the big regional shows.
Yeah.
Last one.
Yeah.
What do you collect?
Oof. So that's a great question. I enjoy rare things, so I have some stuff in that I don't really show off. Or take to shows or anything like that. But I always have liked Jordan, right? So Jordan has been one of those guys for me. So Jordan stuff, LeBron stuff has been cool. I think that Purse LeBron kind of fueled it for me. I was able to buy some more LeBron stuff at that time, and that really helped me. I mean, the value of that's gone up. I do like really cool, non-sport stuff, so maybe rare autographs or really high-grade items. Like I brought up Charizard. I think that's a really cool card from a nostalgic standpoint. So I like the higher end, like rare Pokemon. I've got to know that. I made a big mistake when I opened the shop. I was offered an Illustrator card for $40,000 that today is worth $700,000. You know, like those kinds of mistakes that I made where I wish I'd bought more. Old vintage. I have some nice Mandolin Root that I put away. But the truth is, and I'll say this, the truth is, most of the shop is for sale. I mean, you have to. It's a business now, so like.
As they say, everything is for sale.
Everything has
for
a
the
price.
right price.
Right. So I think for me, the stuff that I really care about, like I probably put away and I don't really show off or bring out or anything like that. The stuff that I put out or for sale is usually always going to be a price for that, and I'm willing to move it. So I've had an opportunity to do some really cool things in 15 years in this kind of hobby, last 20 years, and it's just fun. I just really enjoy it, and if you're ever looking for something, you're looking for something specific, let me know. We have a big network of people we deal with all across the world. And Meelypops is not just a sports card shop. I was telling earlier that we do a lot of Pokemon, a lot of TCG, a lot of Star Wars and Marvel and non-sports, Stranger Things, things like that.
Your non-sports and Pokemon that you do down here is pretty dominant.
Yeah, I would say we're probably a very versatile shop in that. We have a lot of those options. Probably one of the bigger shops in the state that has that that amount of stuff. Plus, we're doing the whatnot, right, or doing those sales with even more higher end stuff. So we're getting into video games. I know you saw a little bit of it. We'll keep a little bit of it under hush, but we do a lot with Volta and CGC. So video games is a big market that we're getting into. I don't know when this will come out, but very soon. I was very blessed to work with Wada to create a new collectible, and I can't speak on it just yet until it gets unleashed. But it's a new kind of hybridized collectible in that space, and I think it's gonna be really cool. I was able to do some projects, and I'll tell Mesty off air, but it's gonna be really cool to see what comes out. I think we got about 4 to 6 weeks before we can unveil it, so maybe end of May. It's really cool.
This will be out before then. With as long as we've talked, I think I'm gonna have to split it up in about 3 segments.
There you go.
So
I'm long-winded. Sorry.
No, it's great. We covered basically the history of Meelypops.
Yeah, definitely.
From the origins. So
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.